Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Anyway, I just got caught up on yesterday's episode of Monday Night Raw. It was taking place in Brussels. Crowd was brilliant for that show. Obviously, whenever WWE does their shows outside the US, in Europe, the crowd is electric. Uh, Last night, Brussels, the crowd throughout the whole night was great. Uh, but I want to talk about obviously the big thing that everybody was waiting for from last night was John Cena's first appearance since Elimination Chamber, um, and it was a very interesting segment. He came out in his same clothes, came out the same music, didn't do his usual, run to the ring or, acknowledgement to Stu, the cameraman, and the crowd just booed him. They told him to shut the fuck up. They give him the usual Cena sucks. Although it was at the times it was back and forth with the Let's Go Cena. Uh, Very good promo. I almost don't want to call it a promo because you know it felt more like a shoot promo than a normal promo. It felt like Punk's pipe bomb whenever he cut that. Uh, it wasn't your usual, heel promo where, the bad guy comes out, says a few things to get a bit of cheap hate from the crowd, and, cements his character as the heel and, walks out. This was, John Cena coming out and basically getting everything off his chest that he probably has wanted to say in reality for the last 20 plus years. um John has always been great on the microphone, and you know over the years, he will crack jokes, he'll feed off the crowd, uh he will make fun of his opponents, or he will put them in their place. Some of his best work I've always thought is when he gets serious and he talks calmly on the microphone. Last night was probably one of the best uh you know speeches on the microphone that John has got. It was calm, it was passionate, and there was a lot of truth in it. It wasn't. I know Cody came out and it was trying to say that John was whining, but there was a lot of truth to it. He basically went in on the fans, that for 25 years or give or take, he has given everything to the business. He's, and they have basically hated him for it, and which is true. Yes, John has always had his fans. I was one of them at one point until even I got tired of, the direction that the company was pushing him in as being this, you know, constantly over superstar who, was sort of like the indestructible soldier for the company that would always rise to the occasion and win, as he said in his thing, I won and I won and I won and I kept winning and you hated me for it, which is true. A lot of, you know a lot of WWE fans used to get sort of tired of the company because of John Cena was constantly around that. Triple H used to do it, but Triple H was a heel, so you know he with Triple H was constantly winning. He was doing it as a heel, and he was finding ways to win. Where it was cheating or evolution or DX. Uh, but with John, he was the face of the company. He was the baby face. He was the person that would never give up. He would run out. You know, he would be the hero. In a way, what Cody is now. Cody will be the one who will run out and make the saves. But Cody. I feel he's just getting started. So I suppose the crowd reaction to Cody at the moment is fantastic, but it could go either way depending on what they do with him. But John talked about you know starting off in the company and uh, changing his personality, his gimmick, to please the fans, which was probably referring to the Doctor Fuckonomics. And he said that worked for a while until it didn't, which is true. The fans were fully behind Cena throughout that whole era of Fuckonomics and the Chain Gang. Uh, up until he won the WWE title from JBL, and then whenever he got drafted to Raw, there was a change in the fan reception. His first sort of feuds were with Jericho and Christian, and there's where the tide started to turn. Fans started to cheer for Jericho over Cena. And then it got to a point where even, whoever Cena was in a feud with, the fans would side with them against Cena, where it was Kurt Angle as when he was a heel, whether it was Triple H, whether it was Umaga. And I think the more that Cena won those feuds, the more the crowd and the audience started to hate Cena even more. Not, Cena in general, but the way his character was pushed. But, there was always that reaction from the fans that some never got Cena. They criticized his wrestling ability, or said that they only had the 5 moves of doom. There was the event in the ECW One Night Stand where he got completely booed out of the arena. But yeah, it didn't feel, I said, it didn't feel like your normal, heel promo of, I'm the bad guy now, so I'm going to come out here and I'm going to say a few things to, get booed from the crowd, and that's it. This felt like, John coming out and basically just saying, for 25 years I have bit my lip and I have worked with a smile. I have given you everything, and now I am going to get some things off my chest. I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to tell you what I've always wanted to say. And, he went in on both. He went in on the Cena haters. He went in on the Cena fans. He criticized those who were dressed in his gear, that they were just, leeching off him, that even singled out a kid in the crowd who was dressed in this thing, and this, he said that he was done, and it did feel like, I felt like, someone who got to the end of their, end of the road, and it was just like they were tired. In a way, it's a bit like, Punk and his thing with AEW, where he said, I'm tired, I'm hurt, and he said, I'm working with children, but with John, it just felt like and the way he put his words across, it was like, I'm done, I'm tired, I am retiring at the end of this year, so I am going to come out here and I'm going to get these things off my chest. There's no filter, there's no jokes, there's no theatrics. I'm going to tell you, people, exactly what I want to say. And it's going to be very interesting, going forward, what they do with the rest of the year. Is John, because, as he said last night, he said, I'm not a baby face, I'm not a heel, I'm a human being, and I am done, with all of you. So is John going to, be this new, version of himself for the rest of the year until he retires, or is there going to be a way? Like, he sort of reminds me a bit of AJ Styles in TNA, towards the end of his run with TNA. There was a point where he sort of adopted this sort of lone wolf gimmick, where he, said he had had enough of, the fans, and he wanted to be his own person. And, he ran for a while with like this sort of it was heel, but it wasn't full heel, where, he would work with, he would end up teaming with other, heel groups against his baby faces. It was basically just him, lone wolf. So, and then he ended up, I think, eventually turning face again. I think they were battling the Aces and the Eights group. But I'm curious what direction they're going to go with John. Is John... I'm assuming John himself is calling the shots on this, so he can decide what way he wants to go with. So is he going to go with, I've been this, happy go lucky, Super Cena, fan favorite for, 20 plus years. Now I'm going to go out this way, where I'm going to say it how it is. I'm not going to, be a puppet to the company anymore. I'm going to, as he said, your time is finally over. My time is finally now. Is this how he wants to go out? Or is it going to be where he does, because I don't know what they're going to do at Mania. I don't know whether they are going to build it up to John wins his 17th title, or Cody overcomes him and then Cena, disappears and then, comes back at some point towards the end of the year, sort of like a redemption. It'll be very interesting. But I say I loved the segment last night. Just the, I say, the sort of the passion that came out of John. It wasn't just a normal heel promo. It was it felt like a shoot promo where he just said, I'm just gonna go out there, take this microphone, and I'm gonna get everything truthfully off my chest. I'm gonna speak truthfully. I'm not gonna hide anything. I'm gonna tell it how it is. I'm gonna say what I've been wanting to say for all these years. And I bet, I bet like the likes of Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt's probably looking down because he had that whole storyline with John where he wanted John to sort of embrace his darkness and turn bad. He's probably looking down now, going, "You fucking kidding me?" And even Kane, Kane had a storyline where he wanted, Cena to give in to the hate, and John never did. He had as I think, as I said before, he had the storyline with the Nexus where Wade Barrett wanted him to align and uh, turn his back on the fans. He never did it. The authority angle, he never did it. So it feels now like he's saying, I have done that. I have been the company puppet. I have been your puppet for all these years. I'm done. I am tired. I am done. I'm gonna go out on my, plan. And in a way, that's what it is. If you look back at, inserting himself into the Royal Rumble, inserting himself into the Elimination Chamber match, that's when you look back now, it does feel like that was the way. It was just like, I'm done, doing what is best for the fans. I'm gonna do what's best for me. I'm gonna enter that Royal Rumble. I'm gonna enter that chamber. I am going to, win for me, not for anyone else. So I'm very curious how it's going to go. I don't think much else happened on Raw. Obviously, uh, they had the whole segment with Rhea, Bianca, and Io, which will probably end up being as a triple threat match. And Seth spoke about Roman, and he was going to SmackDown to confront him and confront Punk if he was showed up. So it feels like those both are going to be triple threat matches at Mania. So curious to see how that goes. Finn, I think the main event was Finn versus Bron. Bron retained the title, so it looks like he's going to be going up against Penta. It feels like they're going towards the Judgment Day breaking up, because it feels like Finn and Dominic are constantly going at each other. So curious what direction that goes, whether Finn turns face and goes against Dominic, or they just go their separate ways and break up the group. But anyway, I just want to get my put my thoughts out on that, and looking forward to seeing. As I said, looking forward to seeing what happens as we get closer to WrestleMania, because I know Cody and Cena are going to be on Raw next week. So we'll have to see what happens there. Is The Rock going to be involved any further? And then again, I don't know what they're going to do with Mania. I don't know if they are going to have Cena win or how they're going to work out his run for after Mania. Is he going to stay heel? Is he going to go away, come back as a face? I don't know how you do that though. I don't know how you come back as a face after you basically just told everyone to go and f themselves. Uh, that you're done. You're breaking up with them. You're no longer concerned with them. But we'll have to see. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on that, and let me know what you think is going to happen at WrestleMania and what direction John Cena is going to go with the rest of this year. And do you think he's going to? I think I can't remember if I said after Elimination Chamber I thought maybe that Cena was going to maybe win the title and then possibly drop it around SummerSlam, and then he might have his final rivalry around Survivor Series, whether he's a face or a heel. But it depends. He either might win the title at Mania and then hold on to it until the end of the year. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. Drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. That'd be very much appreciated. I look forward to seeing what happens on SmackDown with the whole Punk, Roman, Seth scenario. Punk still has his favour from Paul Heyman, so what's going to go with that? And we'll see what happens. Anyway, take care. I'll see you again.